Welcome back to another episode of Living with Lala. I'm Lalandra Hill with Homes by Lalandra. I officially launched my first time homebuyer Bootcamp, which means this month I've been sharing everything you need to know to have a successful home buying experience. Today is week 4, which means you've already learned all about the process of setting up a custom home search and what to expect when house hunting. If you missed weeks 1 through 3, you can always view them on my Facebook and Instagram, Homes by Lalandra. Today, we're going to talk about what happens when you find the one and what steps to take before you start creating Pinterest boards for every room of the house. So, pull up a seat and join me for today's mini training. So, you found the one. So what's next? Well, you toured a home, it checked most of the boxes, and you think you want to write an offer, but first, you might really want to ask yourself a few questions to make sure you're making the right decision. Here's what I recommend to my buyers. Number 1, how long are you planning on living in the home? You'll want to consider whether or not this home meets your needs, not just now, but potentially 5 to 10 years down the road, if that's what you're looking for. So do a double check on that. Number 2, are you looking beyond the decor? Remember, things like paint, colors, flooring, and even countertops can always be changed over time. Does this location, layout, and size of the home fit your needs? Always ask yourself these questions about the things you can't change and decide if you're happy with them. Number 3, does the cost of the home reflect how much you want to spend monthly? Now, it's very important to think beyond the big number of the total mortgage amount and break it down how the monthly payment, along with taxes and your insurance, will affect your budget. So, after asking yourself these 3 questions, you can make a decision with confidence instead of with emotions. This is where we're going to be entering the negotiation portion of the home buying process. And it's very important to try as best as possible to not let your emotions get in the way. Again, so you can really make a smart real estate decision. So here we go. What should you be prepared to do next? So it's time to write an offer that you're going to submit to the sellers. I won't get into all of the other details in today's show, but this is something I walk my buyer clients through at our buyer consultation. So when this time does come, you know what you should be thinking about, which is very important. We're going to decide on things like the offer price, the earnest money amount, the closing date, what you want to include versus exclude, as well as your financing terms and any other contingencies to include, such as the home inspection and appraisal. Once we officially submit the offer is when the negotiation can begin. This is where sometimes buyers might feel nervous, but not to worry. I'm the one that's going to be in charge of communicating with the listing agent and handling the negotiations. So I'm the middle person in between you and that on the other side of the deal. I will prepare you for who is responsible for which step when it comes to negotiating the various parts of the offer, so you fully understand what's happening and what your options really are. You'll always be kept in the loop, but nothing will ever fall on your shoulders when it comes to figuring out what to do next. This is what I'm here for. So, if and when we come to an agreement with the sellers and your offer is accepted and contract fully executed, this is when we will start moving through the various parts of the offer and making sure we meet our deadlines and satisfy any contingencies. You'll be in communication with both me and your lender during the rest of the process, and we'll be communicating with all parties to make sure we stay on track. You'll also get updates from me on next steps and things to prepare for, such as scheduling your home inspection, delivering your earnest money and your option fee, and being prepared to meet specific deadlines. When you're working with the buyer's agent who you like and trust, you'll never be left in the dark with what's happening, and before you know it, you'll be at the closing table signing so many pieces of paper, you'll need a glass of champagne when you're done to celebrate. Now that you've gone through 4 weeks of my first time home buyer boot camp, you might be ready to take that next step. So schedule your very own real life buyer consultation. Remember, even if you're 6 to 12 months out, it's a good idea to get started with the process so you have a real estate agent and lender you feel comfortable with and are prepared for the entire process so that you're ready to make a smart real estate decision. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Living with Lala. For anything real estate related, or want to schedule your very own home buyer consultation to get the ball rolling with everything I've talked about so far, send me a DM or a comment below and I'll reach out. Remember, the home buying and selling process can be an uphill battle, but it doesn't have to be with the Hill Realtor. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day.